Good afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome to High Noon Friday, Fredonia's longest-running variety radio program, brought to you by WCVF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno. I'm Alex Erwin.
And I'm Kowalyk. Today's episode is available streaming worldwide at FredoniaRadio.com.
Coming up, we will have news and weather, but first, campus news.
SUNY Fredonia's library is welcoming the addition of a certified training therapy dog named Clover. Clover will be turning 1 next week and is having a birthday party in Reed Library to celebrate. Cupcakes will be served next Tuesday, May 10th at 11 a.m. Clover will be joining the Reed Library family next year as she completes her training.
A SUNY Fredonia alum has won his 6th Grammy Award. Randy Merrill, who earned a degree in sound recording technology at SUNY Fredonia in 1997, won a Grammy for Record of the Year for Silk Sonic's Leave the Door Open. Merrill said, quote, "An exceptional amount of work went into the making of this record, so I'm very thankful to have won this award. I'm so grateful to regularly work with many talented artists, producers, engineers, and label executives," end quote. Merrill also earned 4 other nominations. Record of the Year for Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo, Album of the Year for Sour by Olivia Rodrigo and Montero by Lil Nas X, and Best Engineered Album Neoclassical for Dawn by Yeva. Merrill was the mastering engineer on all the selections. Since 2015, Merrill has received 15 nominations and 4 Grammy wins, all within just 7 years.
The final issue of The Leader is here. This edition of the paper will have several interesting stories, including a look at the local music scene here in Fredonia, a story about one of our own radio shows here at FRS called The Local Lowdown, an in-depth story about a student filing a civil rights case against village police, and a sit-down with the director of the Cryptid Cast versus the Goopy Ganker. Be sure to pick up one last issue of The Leader in any academic building on campus or in select locations downtown. Stories are available online at leaderfredonia.org.
Radiothon is live. Starting with this very episode of High Noon Friday, Fredonia Radio Systems will have non-stop live shows for an entire 24 hours, ending tomorrow at noon with the Big Cheeseburger Challenge. We will be having CD and food sales at both the Williams Center and McEwen throughout the day, and an open doors event here at the station. Come by 115 McEwen Hall to learn more about the radio, Fredonia Radio Systems, and to get free snacks and pizza.
Thank you, Alex. Today we will be having our classically chaotic segment, Trivia Slightly After 12. We will also be listening to a few of our weekly segments, such as Just the Facts and Nature Speaks.
Let's start with our local news prepared by Cascio Fonseca, followed by a weather update prepared and read by Hunter Halterman. What's going on, Cascio?
Good afternoon and happy Radiothon 2, everyone. I'm Cascio Fonseca here with your High Noon Friday local news. In local news for this week's national average price for a gallon of gasoline is up to $4.19, up 7 cents from last week, the AAA of Western and Central New York reports. 1 year ago, the price was $2.90. The current New York State average is $4.35, up 12 cents from last week, and last year the state average was $2.95. In Buffalo, the cost was $4.23, which was up 2 cents this week. In Chautauqua County, prices at the pump were higher than the state average in some locations at $4.36 per gallon. Gas prices are up across the board this week despite a slight drop in demand. Although lower gas demand would typically push pump prices lower, increasing oil prices and tight gasoline supply have pushed pump prices higher. Pump prices will likely face upward pressure as oil prices remain above $100 per barrel. Crude prices have increased because the current level is approximately 16% lower than at the end of April 2021. As supply remains tight and the market remains highly volatile, crude prices will likely continue to fluctuate, pushing pump prices higher. In other local news, 16 individuals aged 18 to 20 were charged last Saturday for allegedly using fictitious driver's licenses in the village of Fredonia. Fredonia police said last Monday it assisted investigators of the Buffalo Division of Field Investigations for the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles in identifying those presenting a fictitious license as identification for the purpose of entering an establishment licensed by the State Liquor Authority. Over 90 minutes, DMV investigators and uniformed Fredonia officers nabbed 16 individuals. All are scheduled to be in village court at a later date. And finally, in state news, New York may soon offer a 4-day, 32-hour work week for employees of companies with more than 500 employees. Assemblyman Ken Burgess has introduced A.10009 with the bill assigned to the Assembly Labor Committee. It's unlikely the legislation will be passed before the end of the legislative session in mid-June, and companion legislation has yet to be introduced in the state Senate. The legislation would only apply to employees who are not covered as part of a collective bargaining agreement. Employees affected would not see their pay reduced for the loss of 8 hours a week. Overtime would instead begin at 32 hours a week and remain paid at 150% of an employee's hourly pay. A similar bill has been introduced in California, sponsored by California Assembly members Christina Garcia and Evan Lowe. At the federal level, Representative Mark Takano has sponsored legislation reducing the standard workweek from 40 hours to 32 hours by lowering the maximum hours threshold for overtime compensation for non-exempt employees under the Fair Labor Standards Act. Garcia said the national trend of people leaving their jobs is one reason to move toward a 32-hour workweek. According to the Associated Press, job openings hovered at a near-record level in February. Little changed from the previous month, continuing a trend that Federal Reserve officials see as a driver of inflation. There were 11.3 million available jobs last month, matching January's figure and just below December's record of 11.4 million. The number of Americans quitting their jobs was also historically high at 4.4 million. Many people are taking advantage of numerous opportunities to switch jobs, often for higher pays, and the vast majorities of those quitting are doing so to take other positions.
The Northern Chautauqua Weather Update, being brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hello, Fredonia. My name is Hunter Halterman, and I'm here with your weekend weather forecast. Our resident weather girl, Jules Hopeting, is a little under the weather, so I'll be filling in this week. Today will be a high of 60 degrees with a low of 50. The weekend is off to a rocky start, however, as there is a 60% chance of showers this afternoon. Luckily, it's supposed to stop in the later afternoon, leaving us with cloudy skies in the evening. Tomorrow, Saturday, we're looking at some cooler temperatures with a high of just 57 degrees and a low of 43. There won't be any rain, but the skies will be cloudy and gloomy. Although Friday and Saturday are looking like you should probably just stay inside and watch a movie, Sunday will be starting off a sunny and warm week. Sunday, living up to its name, will be sunny with a high of 62 degrees and a low of 40. The sun is here, and it's here to stay throughout the week. This has been a very special edition of your weekend weather forecast with yours truly, Hunter Halterman. And now, let's pass it back to the hosts.
Thanks, Cascio and Hunter. We're going to dive right into our weekly segments, and to start, here is Just the Facts.
Welcome back to Just the Facts. I am Hunter Halterman, and I'm here with Alex
Heyo.
and Chloe.
Hello.
Today we are going to talk about just facts, only facts, and absolutely no opinions. And it might be a little shaky because we are live.
We're live.
For the first time ever during High Noon Friday, we are live.
Yes, for Radiothon.
A very special edition brought to you. And a very special topic at that as well.
Yes.
Today, I have tasked Alex and Chloe to bring us facts about our good friend, Jackson DiCarlo.
Jackson Facts.
Jackson Facts.
It's Jackson Facts Day.
Jackson Facts.
I'm right here.
Yeah, exactly. It's so perfect.
Did you even think to fact check any of these or
No,
No.
because I know mine's
God.
verified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god.
Maybe you can fact check them live. We'll be okay.
Yeah,
I
fact
was
check them
asking
live.
Hunter, I'm like, hey, what's the topic this week? He's like, oh, you'll see. I was like,
You're gonna love it.
You
This
love
would
it.
be great.
Alex,
Yeah?
start us off.
I have a Jackson fact here that we talked about a bit earlier in the semester during High Noon. But I would like to bring it back up again because it's one of my favorite Jackson facts. Once upon a time, when Jackson was the news director,
Yeah,
he did news for High Noon Friday.
I did.
And there was one time where he broke down laughing hysterically while talking about how hundreds of birds were flying into the NASCAR Hall of Fame and school lunch programs were being cut for millions of kids nationwide. And he broke down laughing and he had to leave in the middle of High Noon because he couldn't stop
It's
laughing.
true.
it wasn't
that one's
because of
verified.
the subject matter though. It was because of what was happening in the booth. There's a lot of things going on and people were trying to be funny, and it worked.
It worked a lot.
But to everyone who was listening, it just sounded like I was a maniac.
Just broke down in the middle of talking about birds hitting the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Busting a giggle while birds die.
Busting a giggle.
Do any of you guys watch NASCAR?
No.
Perchance?
No.
Not a single one.
Just cars go in a circle.
I
a lot
just
of
know
times.
the one. I forget the comedian, but he was like, "Why is there even like a color commentator?" Because he's like, he's making a left turn, and he's making another left turn.
Right, yeah.
And sooner he will make another left turn. But
There goes the seagull.
It's all about the distractions in NASCAR.
Yes, absolutely.
Anyways, Chloe, what do you got for us today?
I have such a good one, and I know mine is verified because it's been posted on the internet.
Oh no.
In 2016, Jackson spotted a Magikarp at the Central Park Zoo,
I did.
and he posted the evidence for all to see on his Instagram page.
Yeah.
Did you catch it?
I think I did. I was.
That's good.
Oh, geez. I think I was there for my brother's like dance competition, and we went to the Central Park Zoo. That was the first and only time I've ever gone. And yeah, it was during the height of Pokemon Go, so there was a lot of Pokemon posts at that time.
Do you still play Pokemon Go?
No.
No?
You should.
Yeah, it was wild because I remember going on it was one of the tunnels that goes like under the river or something to get into the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in and I was like, Andy, look at all the Pokestops. It was wild going from suburbs to the city and wild time.
What's everyone's favorite Pokemon? I'm just curious.
Eevee.
Eevee? You know what? Solid choice. Hunter?
I'm a Bidoof guy.
A Bidoof.
It's all about Bidoof, bro.
Bidoof.
Bidoof's a solid choice. What about you, Jackson?
I'm a big fan of the fire starters.
Yeah.
So I like Infernape and Torchic. Well, Infernape and
Torchic.
How do you feel about
Blaziken.
Fennekin?
Fennekin I dislike.
That's fair. I
Only
also
because
dislike
I
it's
Fennekin.
dislike
the one I
Fennekin.
didn't play. And also, I don't know. It just seems, I'm not a huge fan of the design.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fair.
That's fair.
Incineroar, though, top tier. People hate him, but I love him.
What
I like
about
Torchic.
what about Tepig?
Tepig was my first ever Pokemon, actually.
I think it was mine too.
But I can't argue with its design just not being great.
That's fair. Well, I have one last very special fact for us.
Yeah.
Our buddy Jackson DiCarlo is making a movie.
Oh! That's a fact. That's
it's
a fact.
true.
So
I am.
The Cryptid Cast versus the Goopy Ganker. Tell us a little bit of information about it,
Oh, geez.
seeing as you're here.
What isn't there to tell about it? We've been working on it for almost half a year, if not more. We started writing it over the summer last year. We started production in late December. We wrapped filming mid-April, and we're almost done with post-production. It will be screened in town in the Dunkirk Movieplex on the 20th and 21st at
Ooh.
9:30 and 6:15 respectively.
Yep.
We're going to have a lot of information coming out about that very soon on our GoFundMe page and our social medias, which is at CryptidCast Film for the social medias and the GoFundMe. I mean, if you just search Goopy, you can find it. Also, side fact, I searched Goop on the GoFundMe the other day, and there's a post about a guy who wants to get drip for his dog, and he's trying to raise $1 million.
$1 million?
Wow.
He hasn't made any money, but it's like a meme basically. He's like, yo, my dog ain't got no style. He's been wearing the same J's for 13 years.
Oh.
Oh,
I know I'm
really
doing after
funny.
this.
Check it
Donate
out.
some money.
Here's another fact, is that 3 out of the 4 people on Just the Facts today work on the Goopy Ganker.
That's true.
That's a fact, right?
I was
very
supposed
true.
to be your PR person, but
Were
well,
you?
your
Were you?
article person, but it's okay.
Chloe's
article
not
is
upset
excellent.
about
It's
it.
okay.
We are featured. You did mention it in the leader, actually, that we were in the article. But we were in the issue this year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
This, geez, what is it? Issue? I don't know. We were in it this week, this bye-week.
Yeah, issue. Yeah,
It's very nice.
issue.
Go and
of
check
the
it out.
paper.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
an exclusive.
Me and Hunter do the audio for it.
It's pretty
Uh-huh.
cool.
We
We
work
are.
on audio.
We're 2 of the audio boys.
How are your scenes coming out, Hunter?
You know.
Great.
Going?
Let's talk about it when Jackson isn't here. How about that?
Jeez. Wow, what an honor to be featured on Just the Facts. I was not expecting it. Otherwise, would have come with a fact of my own. I guess here's a fact.
Oh, here's a fact. Special fact.
A Jackson
special
fact from Jackson.
Special fact from the man himself.
As of last Easter, my hat has turned 12.
Jackson's hat.
Oh.
For those of you that don't know.
That is an old hat.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
It's
nice.
his famous staple hat, too.
Yeah. Mickey Mouse.
The Mickey Mouse hat.
Okay, wrap this up. We got a show to run.
Well, anyways, that has been your Just Facts episode live for this week. And I hope you all have a wonderful Radiothon.
Yes. Radiothon. Listen to all the shows. They're going to be so much fun.
You have 24 hours of content coming at you.
Yes.
Take a look at it. We'll be back.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Thank you. Next up is Nature Speaks.
Hello, this is Ash, and you're listening to Nature Speaks, where one nature nerd goes outside, looks at some stuff, and then tells you all about it. All right, so this past week, I did not get outside much. It's the week before Dead Week, which is the week before finals. So me, along with everybody else, we're just kind of in a half-alive stupor, just working through our assignments. Everybody's very tired and trying their best. So I know a lot of cool stuff's going on right now, but I'm not really there to witness it. So I was sitting in the radio station lobby earlier this week, and I asked, what should I do for my segment this week? And people said frogs. So the segment this week is going to be about frogs. I'm going to talk about some of the frogs that I've seen in the areas and the ones that I've been taught to identify. I'm sure there's a lot, but the amphibian nerd, sector of nature nerds, I love them, I respect them, but I don't really know all that much. But I'll tell you what I know and what I was able to research a little bit. The elephant in the room is frogs versus toads. We had a poll earlier in the radio station this week, frogs versus toads, and frogs won, which is sad because you're going to see toads way more often, and where you're going to find them is on land. If you're ever just chilling somewhere and you're not near water and you see some warty looking thing with dry skin, that's going to be your very common American toad. They start breeding in late April, and the males begin to sing a very musical song. So if you see these guys on land, know that those are toads, not frogs. But now that we're talking about frogs, there are 3 types that I'm familiar with in general. Number 1 is spring peepers. This is one of my favorite parts of springtime. They're small little tree frogs, and they're one of the first signs of spring. Their breeding starts in March. If you go around any wetland, marshy pond area at night, you're gonna hear their deafening peeps. If you're by a pond at night, you may actually go. Your ears might start ringing from it. So they sing in trios, which I thought is really funny. And the one with the lowest voice starts it, and then they sing all together. And whoever gets the fastest, whoever sings the fastest and the loudest, they're more likely to mate successfully. So here are some spring peeper sounds. And as I've learned over the years, you will hear them all the time, but you will very seldom see them. I was a camp counselor at a wetland area, and I was leaning against a tree, and then a kid pointed at the tree and said, "Look," and there was a tree frog right there. And that's the only time I've ever seen a tree frog. Second type of frog I know is a green frog. This is your common mid-tier, mid-sized frog in water areas. Their breeding starts in late April and early May, so we're just going to be starting to hear them. The male mating call sounds like a banjo string being plucked. So my trick for remembering how to identify the green frog is I imagine a green banjo. Because if you're in wetland areas, you're either going to hear, especially during summer, you're either going to hear the banjo or you're going to hear the sound of the bullfrog, which is the third one that I know. These are big frogs. They're 7 inches from, quote, snout to tailbone. They're very large. And their mating call it straight up sounds like a lightsaber. So we're gonna play 2 little clips for you right now, and I want you to try to guess which one's a bullfrog and which one's a lightsaber. And now, believe it or not, the first one was the bullfrog, and the second one, it was a lightsaber sound effect. Once I was at a pond at night, and this totally contradicts my Leave No Trace episode last week, so don't recommend this. I was at a pond at night doing some work with an internship, and my friend goes, "Wait, do you hear that? I think it might be," and then she snatches her hand to the pond's edge, and then she just has this bullfrog in her hands. And this poor thing is like, its legs are hanging, it's dejected, it's totally defeated. And it was just funny because I know no other person that could just snatch a bullfrog out of the water. Don't do that though, poor frog. Anyways, those are some frogs. Go check them out if you're going outside. But if you're a SUNY Fredonia student, I don't think people have much time to go outside these next couple weeks. But stay safe, be safe this weekend. Go kiss a frog or don't. PSA, please don't actually kiss a frog. I'm Ash. Thank you for listening. And remember, nature speaks. And this weekend it says, stay tuned to Fredonia Radio System's Radiothon. Woohoo!
Thanks for the segment. Now, let's bring it to Josh with the international news.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm your host, Jazzman Josh, with this week's international news. Yesterday, the World Food Prize winner was awarded. Yesterday, the World Food Prize was awarded to Cynthia Rosenzweig. Rosenzweig is an agronomist and climatologist who works at the NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies as a senior research scientist. She was granted the World Food Prize for her modeling on how global climate change is affecting food systems. Climate change is having an effect on agriculture, and according to worldfoodprize.org, quote, she provided the evidence used by thousands of decision makers in more than 90 countries to both mitigate and adapt to climate change in local, national, and global food systems, end quote. Cynthia's research shows that a third of global greenhouse emissions come from agricultural food systems. In an interview with the Associated Press, Cynthia Rosenzweig stated, quote, we basically cannot solve climate change unless we address the issues of the greenhouse gas emissions from the food system, and we cannot provide food security for all unless we work really hard to develop resilient systems, end quote. Her predictions indicate that unless the world makes changes to solve these problems, we're going to experience more droughts, heat waves, and flooding. Do your part to save the world. The state of California just won in a fight with telecommunications companies to maintain their 2018 net neutrality law. Net neutrality law prevents broadband internet providers from throttling services and restricting consumers from accessing certain content. In the federal court filing, telecom companies argue that enacting net neutrality regulations undermine investment in broadband and make unclear which business practices are acceptable. On Wednesday, the companies agreed with California Attorney General Rob Bonta to dismiss the case. The Attorney General said in his statement, quote, the case is finally over. With this victory, we've secured a free and open internet for California's 40 million residents once and for all, end quote. In corona updates, effective as of Wednesday, the FDA is limiting the use of the Johnson & Johnson Janssen COVID-19 vaccine to adults who cannot accept COVID vaccines from other manufacturers. This limit is after the FDA has determined that there is a risk of thrombosis with thrombocytopenia syndrome, or TTS. TTS is a syndrome that causes potentially fatal blood clots with low levels of blood platelets. Dr. Peter Marks, director of the FDA's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, stated, quote, today's action demonstrates the robustness of our safety surveillance systems and our commitment to ensuring that science and data guide our decisions, end quote. People can still get the J&J vaccine, but only when no other vaccines are accessible or clinically appropriate for them. All right, folks, it is now time for the Jazzman Josh Word of the Week.
The Jazzman Josh Word of the Week for this week is
flabbergast. That's right, the Jazzman Josh Word of the Week for this week is flabbergast. Flabbergast is an adjective that means to be shocked. I was flabbergasted to find out that after high noon, I would be having my own show for Radiothon. Stick around after high noon and enjoy Revenge of the Jazzman Josh, where yours truly will be playing saxophone live on air. And with that, stay warm and be cool, Fredonia.
Thanks for the updates. Finally, we have something special for you all that are listening. It's time for Trivia Slightly After 12. On this segment, we test the minds of students here on Fredonia's campus to win glorious prizes. This week we have four contestants. That's a lot of contestants, isn't it, Chloe?
It is. It's
Yes.
the most.
The most.
The most that'll fit.
Yes, the most that'll fit in this room.
Yeah.
But we have four wonderful contestants ready to win big by answering some questions. Please introduce yourselves.
Hello, my name is Reilly. I am the business manager here and reigning champ from 2 trivias ago.
Hello, I'm Allie. I'm a archives assistant here.
Hi, Miss Al. I hope to lose.
Whoa.
And I'm Brian. I'm also an archives assistant.
Oh, we've got 2 archives assistants here. Do we want to do a little bit of team game here? Question?
Why are you asking me? Ask them.
Well, you're the other host.
The archives versus the managers.
Yeah, there you go.
Dun.
That's
Archives versus managers.
What do you think, Jackson?
That sounds fun to me.
Yeah, archives versus managers. Alrighty.
I think it's funny that you guys aren't sitting next to each other. You're going across each other.
Now we can't cheat.
Yes,
Yeah,
now you
there
can't
you go.
cheat. Well, you know the drill. The first one to shout their name after the question is read is able to take a shot at answering the question. Each question is worth 1 point, and at the end of the game, the person or team with the most points will be declared the winner. This week's category is villains. Shall we start, Chloe?
Yes.
Number 1. Jackson, you want to take it away?
Sure.
Number 1, Jackson's turn.
Jackson, go.
Dr. Robotnik, also known as Dr. Eggman, is the main antagonist to the Sonic the Hedgehog. He's actually the enemy that you fight in most Sonic games. However, Dr. Robotnik has a game of his own. What is it called? Is it A, Eggman on Ice, B, Dr. Eggman and his raving robots, C, Dr. Robotnik and Dr. Robotnik's mean bean machine, or D, Robotnik versus Rabbit Boy?
Brian. C.
It is Dr. Robotnik's mean bean machine.
Do you play this
Do you
game?
play Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine?
I haven't played it, but I'm pretty knowledgeable about a lot of video games.
Wow.
It's true. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is a falling block puzzle game developed by Compile and published by Sega. It was released for the Genesis/Mega Drive in North America and Europe in November of 1993, and ported to the Game Gear in 1993 and Master System in 1994. The game is a westernized version of Puyo Puyo and replaces the characters from that series with those of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, primarily the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog animated series.
Brian was nodding
That
his
was
head
impressive.
the entire time. Like, he knew this. He knew the
Yeah.
lore. Wow.
That was-
Managers,
that was
you better
good.
be on the watch out, because...
Archives has taken a strong start.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
Decisive
strong.
start.
Right, gotta roll up the sleeves.
Here's a good one to keep us going. Question 2. My favorite villain. When is Tom Nook's birthday? Is it A, June 6th, B, September 19th, C, March 14th, or D, May 30th?
Riley,
Yes.
I'm gonna go with B, September 19th.
No.
Brian. I want to say A.
Nope.
Ooh. We've got to-
Yisel.
Yisel.
I want to say D.
D, May 30th?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay, so some Tom Nook trivia here. And I have an idea for a bonus point. If anybody can get it, I'll be really impressed. So, Tom Nook, he's not actually a raccoon. He's called a tanuki, and he's very rich. But how did he earn his riches? Well, I was reading online that it's suspected that he once worked with Red, a fox who tricks people into buying fake art. And Red even mentions a raccoon in an apron. And unless he's talking about Timmy or Tommy, it must be Tom Nook himself. So here's my bonus question.
Bonus.
If you can answer it, you get an extra point, as long as Jackson's okay with it.
We'll see.
How does Tom Nook like his coffee?
Riley.
Oh.
Very good.
Very good.
That was so good!
Riley got a very good point.
Makes it very good.
That was a really good answer.
I mean, unless he likes average coffee.
No, well, do you want me to tell you? Is that it?
Does someone want to actually
Does
try?
somebody want to try it?
So I know this is referring to Animal Crossing New Leaf because you can actually serve coffee to villagers in that game.
Mhm.
Yes.
But man, I don't remember the specifics. I want to guess that he probably just takes it like black and with 2 sugars and oh my god, they also had different types of coffee in that game. So I don't know. Maybe he likes Kilimanjaro.
Is that correct?
Did I get that right?
I'm like, literally, I can't even, like, I'm about to cry. This is so beautiful. He likes Kilimanjaro coffee with lots of milk and it just has 1 spoonful. I don't know if that means of sugar.
Spoonful of sugar,
Yeah.
Yeah,
sugar.
it just has 1 spoonful.
You know what? Other than like the black coffee part, you know, you were
The
like
fact that you
pretty
got
spot on. with
Kilimanjaro
that.
is pretty.
That was like, that was weird. I didn't think anybody was going to get that.
That was some incredible deductive reasoning right there.
I remember Kilimanjaro was one of the options you could give in that game.
You knew exactly what game it was too.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's no other game where you can really get the specifics about coffee. So.
That's true.
Wow.
Jackson,
Okay.
did you
Nope.
write number 3? You didn't?
Uh-uh.
Well,
Did you write 4?
I wrote 4.
Okay.
I
wrote 5.
I can read 3 again if you
Yeah.
want.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure, okay. This was probably Hunter.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay. Which of the following Batman comics villains has not made an appearance in any of the DC live-action movies? Is it A, Clayface, B, Killer Croc, C, Two-Face, or D, Ra's al Ghul?
Reilly. A.
That's correct. Okay. Fun fact
Clayface.
that Hunter wrote. Killer Croc appeared in the very highly rated 2016 Suicide Squad. Is it highly rated?
No.
I was gonna say.
Morbius.
Two-Face has appeared in the 1989's Batman, 1995's Batman Forever, and 2008's The Dark Knight. Ra's al Ghul appeared in the 2012 The Dark Knight Rises, and Clayface has not yet made a live-action appearance.
Which is lame.
Untapped potential there. Clayface is honestly one of the coolest Batman villains.
He
ever.
is.
Very
I
highly
concur.
rated 2016 Suicide Squad. Just saying.
That was
We'll get him for that later.
Yeah. Number 4. In Spider-Man 2, the Daily Bugle dubs the villain Otto Octavius as Dr. Octopus, with J. Jonah Jameson giving him the nickname Doc Ock. What nickname did Jameson almost give him? Was it A, the Octopus, B, Otto Oct, C, Tentacle, or D, Doctor Strange?
Brian?
Brian.
B?
B, Octo Ock is incorrect.
You didn't even read the response right.
What?
You have
You wrote this, didn't you?
Come on.
There's a lot of...
J. Jonah Jameson would be so disappointed in you. Get it together.
Sorry, Jameson.
JJJ.
Otto Oct is incorrect.
Bring me host with reading comprehension.
Reilly.
Riley.
I'm going to go with, I think it was C, the tentacle.
Tentacle is incorrect.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop looking at my screen over
Your
there.
screen's so far away from me. I
know
can't.
I don't trust you.
All the trivia contestants now have to close their eyes for the remainder of the show.
Yisel.
A.
A, the octopus, is incorrect.
You stumped them, Alex. Yeah, that was a whiff.
It was actually D, Doctor Strange.
Really?
Now, how did that happen? How did that almost happen?
Well, fun fact, Jameson almost gave him this nickname before remembering, in fact, there is indeed someone named Doctor Strange already.
Oh, so this was after.
Really?
I was assuming it would be before Doctor Strange, and they decided to.
Oh, it was. This was in like 2000 what? Like,
Yes, but Doctor Strange still existed.
Yeah, he was in the
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah, he was in the
Oh,
comics.
okay.
So that's what I was saying. yeah.
Jameson was going to give him the name Doctor Strange before he realized, actually, Doctor Strange already exists.
There's a line, I think. I forget what it is.
Yes, it really makes you think if Doctor Strange is appreciated in the Marvel universe, though. Very unfortunate.
Well, his film is opening tonight.
Yeah.
That is true.
I'm
not
going
gonna
tomorrow.
get to see it until Sunday, I don't think. But
I'm going tomorrow with High Noon Friday producer Hunter, maybe.
Hunter Halterman.
No, we are going. We'll see if I bring him with, though.
Smithers.
Mr. Burns is a common antagonist on the long-running show The Simpsons. He's an extremely wealthy individual that owns the Springfield Power Plant. In season 20, episode 8, his net worth is revealed to be exactly how much?
Oh my God.
Strap in, folks. Is it A, $1,467,004,000? B, $1,800,037,022? C, $1,998,069,432? Or D, $2,001,500,389?
That's
Brian.
so mean.
Brian.
C.
C is incorrect.
If Brian would have gotten that right, I would have been so besides myself.
I would have rioted.
Yisel.
Yisel.
A.
A is also incorrect.
Ooh.
Riley.
Riley.
Oh, shoot. Wait. You said A.
Yes.
It's
said
B or
C.
D.
B or D.
Ooh. Now I'm really sweaty. I'm going to go with D.
D is incorrect.
Another whiff.
The correct answer is
probably.
the correct answer is $1,800,037,022. Fun fact: Mr. Burns has several ages listed on the Simpsons wiki: 104, 81, 123, some 4-digit number, 89, 140, and a few million.
I'm sure one of those is right.
Imagine if the radio station had the same budget that Mr. Burns has.
Oh my gosh. We
I don't
could
think
get
any of us would be here.
Think. That is true.
so many food dehydrators.
Yes.
Yeah, you know how
all
many?
the food dehydrators.
How many?
in the
I need
world.
you to calculate the numbers for next week. How many food dehydrators would that be?
Well, a food dehydrator was about 70
71.
bucks. $71 divided by.
All right, hold on. I'll do
Divide
it.
2 billion.
No. We need to get
we
the
have
number
that.
2
correct.
billion.
Yes. We're gonna do some quick maths here.
1800037
Divided by 71.
71. Oh, okay. That's a good 25 million.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I typed it in wrong and then I couldn't edit it. It was really sad.
25,352,634.1.
We could build another radio station with the food dehydrators.
Yes.
Guys.
Yeah.
What?
Say cheese.
Cheese.
Thank you.
What?
I didn't
you
answer.
take a
I don't know
picture?
Yisel
why.
just swindled
No.
all of us. What was that?
No. Okay.
I need that in
Did
writing.
any of us write number 6?
I did. I'm
You
gonna read
did?
it right now because it's a
Okey-dokey.
lot more simple than that one was.
Yes.
It's a break, if you will. Number 6. Which animal was Bowser originally supposed to be? Is it A, a monkey, B,
Monkey.
an ox,
Ox.
C, a crocodile, or
Crocodile.
D, a hippo?
A hippo. Hungry.
So you've heard the answers, the options twice.
Right, Riley. C.
No.
Crocodile.
Oh.
Crocodile, not a crocodile.
Brian,
Brian?
can you read the
The remaining options, yeah.
Yeah.
A monkey, an ox, or a
Monkey,
hippo?
Ox. Hippo.
I want to go with B.
Ox.
That is correct. Okay. That was very good, Brian. Fun fact. The Ox King from the movie Alakazam the Great was the main inspiration for the original concept. His final design made it to the official box art of Super Mario Bros. In Japan. And it was Takashi Tezuka, a designer at Nintendo, who pointed out that the ox had a body of a turtle. And then they changed it.
He also appeared to be blue on that cover art.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. He's not blue anymore.
Hey, Jackson.
Yes.
I'm very curious. What are the standings currently?
It's dead even.
It's dead even?
Wow.
We have the archives with 2 points and a Kilimanjaro point, and the managers with 2 points and a very good point.
Wow. We're halfway through and we're dead even, Chloe. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I was preparing myself for future questions, is all.
Is this the
Oh,
sudden
look at that.
death round?
We
We have the paparazzis
we
here.
have paparazzi in High Noon Friday. Real quick. I'm going to keep talking so that way there is something going out on the airways.
Wow.
But Chris
How
Sill is,
is-
in fact, taking a picture of us at the moment.
Very nice.
That is very nice of Christopher
This
Sill.
is why I said cheese, but
really-
you didn't come in on time when I said cheese.
That's why you said
Yes.
cheese?
All right, well, you
You
guys
just
are
didn't
posing.
come
I'm going
in.
to read the next question. So you
Okay.
have to focus. Active listening. Here we go.
Thank you, Chris. Bye.
This one is written by the good old-fashioned man, Hunter Halterman.
Yeah, Hunter.
I like, you can always tell which ones Hunter writes. Like, they have something to them.
A movie was released in 2019 by the title Villains. What was the Rotten Tomatoes score of this movie? 34%, 62%, 85%, or 98%?
Yisel.
Yisel.
34%.
Incorrect.
I'm just hoping it's A one of these times.
Reilly.
Reilly.
I'm going to go with 85%.
That is correct.
Wow.
Riley, correct. Good
Fun
job.
fact. Looking at possible fun facts for this question, Hunter Halterman came across a different movie listed on IMDb under the title Masked Avenger versus Ultravillain in the Lair of the Naked Bikini. The description given for this movie is, Masked Avenger is a hero to the modern world. He destroys his enemies. Unfortunately, it didn't have a Rotten Tomatoes score.
I would have loved to know what the Rotten Tomatoes score was for
Other
that.
fun fact, Villains, as it said, came out in 2019. It's about a pair of amateur criminals that try to break into a house when their cars break down. Suddenly they realize they're in over their heads, and they discover that the home owners are harboring a dark secret. It stars Bill Skarsgård, and that's all I recognize.
Incredible.
Okay.
Also rated R.
Oh.
I wrote the next two questions, so I'm going to do both of them. I'm very proud of these.
Why did you write two of them sequentially?
Why would you do that?
Because
Yeah.
that was the
What?
only open.
You can
Then
move the
move the
questions.
questions around.
Well, I was.
That's
lazy.
silly of you. You're
What?
being very silly. Alex is being silly right now.
Can Alex get a super silly point?
What? Wait a minute. You're not.
Why
allowed-
did you go? Yeah, I'll write questions 8 and 9 and then read them one after another. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
It's been a long
Just go ahead. Just
Number
go ahead.
eight.
Let's go.
Number 8. The legendary thief, Swiper, is the main villain in Dora the Explorer.
Oh my gosh.
And is always seen with his signature blue gloves and mask, except once. What is the only episode where Swiper can be seen without his gloves and mask? Is it A, Dora's Got a Puppy, B, Dora Saves the Mermaids, C, Swiper the Explorer, or D, Swiper's Favorite Things?
Reilly.
Riley.
C. Swiper the Explorer.
Nope.
Yisel.
Yisel.
D.
Swiper's Favorite Things?
Yes.
Nope.
Damn.
Allie.
Allie.
B.
Dora Saves the Mermaids? No.
Wait.
That was a rapid
I'm really
fire
rooting for you
answer.
guys here.
Oh,
That was crazy.
Well, it was A, Dora's Got a Puppy.
Dora got a puppy?
Dora's got a
Yes,
puppy.
it's a little tiny brown puppy. It's so cute.
Yes.
Its little tongue sticks out. Goes,
So cute. So cute that Swiper decided to take off all of his apparel.
Well, fun fact, in the episode, Swiper actually built robotic contraptions to swipe from Dora and the group. One of these is a robotic butterfly, which ends up swiping his own mask and gloves. Dora stops the butterfly by saying, "Butterfly, no swiping."
Nice. Well handled.
Isn't it wild that this thief? He is literally known. His name is a word of stealing.
Mhm.
And all it takes, he's so dedicated that he wears his mask and gloves all the time, and he's constantly stalking, looking for things to steal. And all it takes is you just say, "Hey, quit it."
Well, I actually read up on the lore of Swiper.
Did you?
And I have an answer for this.
Why is that?
There's actually a condition in the Dora universe where some people and some organisms are afflicted with the blue mask and blue gloves. And if they have the blue mask and blue gloves, they are obligated to swipe things.
You're kidding.
But
Are you making this up?
no,
Oh my
but
gosh.
if you say thing, no swiping, they immediately have to stop.
But
So did the butterfly
Wait a
have the
minute.
blue mask and gloves
The butterfly had blue aspects to it, yes.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
Wow.
but I remember watching Dora, and that
Yes.
didn't always work. Sometimes he would just take whatever Dora had anyway.
What?
Swiper, come on.
Wait, Jackson, did you find it?
The physical description for Swiper on the Dora Wiki says species, fox, and in parentheses, with a disorder that gives him a blue mask and gloves.
Yes! See?
This is so wild. This is so
You
crazy.
thought I was joking, but I
thought
found
you
the
were being
truth.
silly again,
I
Alex.
found the truth about this.
This is just
Swiper.
This is so silly. This
What
is
about
just
the
the
movie,
facts.
though?
Huh?
The live action movie they did recently.
I saw the live action movie.
Here it is. Swiper was born with a disorder, with a blue mask and gloves, where people thought that whisk, steal, and throw stuff. And people stopped them by saying X, no swiping 3 times, and then they snap their fingers and say, "Oh man." And other animals, Fifi, Sammy, Famka, and Ying Ying have it. So they so they could be named before could be named after the syndrome.
Is this like official?
This is
lore?
official. This is
on the Dora
official
wiki.
Dora the Explorer
That's
lore.
crazy. That's
The-
so
It's on the
crazy.
Dora wiki.
Dora the Explorer wiki is also horribly written. It is so hard to
Probably
read.
because their audience is 5-year-olds, which is the same people that wrote the blog post.
But that was quite the rabbit hole I found myself
Swiper
in
doesn't
this
want
morning.
anyone stealing from Dora but him.
Yes.
And Swiper was raised by his grandmother.
Yes.
And he never makes an appearance in Go Diego Go. Nora is never mentioned.
No.
Because Diego isn't real.
Well, shall we head away from Swiper to
He
our
also
next
never
villain?
steals on his birthday.
Yes.
Aww.
Number 9. In the spring of 2021, High Noon Friday producer Jackson DiCarlo was falsely accused of trivia deceit by the trivia villain, Matthew Gillespie. which of these is not one of the points Matthew used throughout the semester to frame Jackson? Is it A, an innocent point, B, an acting point, C, a board operator point, or D, a Seinfeld point? Yisel looks so distraught right now.
Which of the following was not used?
Yes, which of the following was not a point Matthew used to frame Jackson DiCarlo? Not used to frame Jackson DiCarlo.
Brian,
Brian.
can you read over the...
You can't buzz in
Do
on
that.
Sorry.
It's in-
Innocent acting board operator or Seinfeld?
C.
Board operator point is correct.
Wow.
Matthew did not use a board operator point to frame Jackson.
Although I wouldn't put it past him.
Somehow I knew
Yeah.
the Seinfeld one would be used.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seinfeld was used during the mythology episode.
What's the deal with Zacharias?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Just get out.
Well, fun fact, High Noon producer and host Chloe Kowalyk was ripped off her victory at Food Trivia when Jackson was awarded a stunning Ted's Hot Dogs gatekeeping point.
I don't remember this, but I'm sure it did happen.
I went back through multiple High Noon Friday
I bet.
episodes.
I had a
And-
lot to say about that point.
That was dedicated.
It was more of a Ted's Hot Dogs gates wide open, come on in point, if anything.
But he labeled it as a
He
gatekeeping
did.
point.
I was
Yes.
very upset with him.
Interesting.
But yes, that was my little spiel about Matthew Gillespie being a villain.
Who wrote 10?
I did.
Nice.
Okay. Which of the following is not true about Thanos? You know, the big purple guy.
Nice.
He looks. Hunter and I have this joke that he kind of looks like a raisin. It's very true. He's purple and wrinkly. Anyways, I'll read the options because Jackson's giving me a look. Okay, so which of the following things is not true? A, he had a child named Saren whom he had killed just before, quote, adopting Gamora, fearing she would eventually disobey and kill him. Gamora then became Thanos' right-hand man instead. B, he once owned a Thanos copter and was arrested by regular cops. C, Thanos once did extensive research on genetics, which led him to create many clones of himself. He created clones with half his DNA and half the DNA of the most prominent heroes and villains in Marvel, including Doctor Strange, Professor X, and Iron Man. Or D, he celebrates Christmas.
Who's going to be the first to buzz in?
Brian.
Brian.
D.
No, he does celebrate Christmas.
He's a
Do you want to
Christian
know
man.
why?
Sure.
Because when he had Gamora and he adopted her, he didn't want her to be like totally a stone cold killer, so they celebrated Christmas and he tried to give her a childhood. Thanos lore.
What a nice guy.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Riley. I'm going to go with B.
No, he did in fact have a Thanos
You don't know
copter.
about Thanos Copter?
Thanos copter.
Well, that was like the least descriptive. In SAT prep, they told me.
Or what about he celebrates Christmas?
Well, that's why I was waiting. I wanted
Yeah.
to
Here's
eliminate
Thanos
one of
Copter,
them.
Riley. Here you go.
You know.
Here's Thanos Copter. It's literally just a helicopter that says Thanos on the
Yeah.
side.
It's yellow and orange.
I always think of these things in the movies, which I
Oh, yeah.
already know very little about, and I forget that there's a whole universe.
Yes.
I wish the Thanos copper appeared in the movies.
It shows up in Loki, fun fact. In the show.
Does
That's
it?
how you
I
get
watched Loki and I
Are-
don't remember.
Are you serious right now?
Yep.
Well,
my
Yisel and Allie,
Interesting.
you both have the option who's going to.
What are the remaining options?
Do you want me to reread them? These are the two longest ones.
Yes, please. That's why I can't remember them.
Okay, so I'll shorten it a little bit. Was it the child named Saren that he killed before,
Oh,
quote,
oh,
adopting
okay.
Gamora? Or was it that he did extensive research on genetics and made clones?
Which one is not true?
Which one's not true?
The he killed the child because she was still there in the movie, so I hope
Who?
that's right.
Who said that?
He killed the child.
Yeah, but
before
who's
he-
answering?
Who's answering?
Oh, sorry. What's my name? Yisel.
The hardest trivia question of them all.
Okay, Yisel's going with A, and that is correct.
Yes, I
Yes.
knew A was going to be a right answer at one
Yes.
point.
Yeah, I'm glad that was the deductive reasoning that happened. Okay, so here's a bonus Thanos trivia fact. So his name, this is the most boring thing on here. His name is a modification of the Greek god Thanatos, which is who is the hand of death. Which kind of makes sense if you know anything about Thanos, because he did kill a lot of his kids, but Saren is not one of them, and she does not exist.
Nice.
Go ahead and read 11.
Huh?
Go ahead and read 11.
All right, number 11, Sid Phillips, ruthless toy murderer and villain of the Toy Story franchise, makes a cameo in Toy Story 3 working what regular person job? Is it A, fast food, B, retail, C, garbage man, or D, janitor?
Brian.
Garbage man.
Garbage man.
Garbage man's correct. Brian with the Toy Story lore over here. Fun fact, during production, Sid was nicknamed Little Jack Nicholson. In addition, Sid's house has the same rug pattern as the Overlook Hotel from The Shining, in which Nicholson starred.
That's crazy.
Okay, gang. No way to sugarcoat it. This is literally neck and neck. It is Archives with 4 and a Kilimanjaro, Managers with 4 and very good, Alex with a silly and 3 whiffs.
Alex and the silly.
Whoever gets this point takes the game.
Takes the game.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sweating.
I wasn't paying attention.
The world's greatest villain appears in the children's series of books and movies, Cool Cat. He is known as Dirty Dog. He debuted in the 2021 short film, Cool Cat Fights Coronavirus. Which of the following is not true about Dirty Dog? Is it A, he has a posse of fellow bullies called the Rough Pups? B, he doesn't believe in coronavirus, but his main goal is to, quote, pollute all the kids with it? C, his mother is called Witch Dog, and she has powers to make, quote, magic sauce? Or D, he has a slave named Beaver?
Reilly.
Reilly.
D.
D is true. He actually does have a slave. This is a children's
In
book character.
2022?
Yes.
What kind of question is this?
This is all true stuff, except one of them.
Except one of them, yeah.
One of them.
But this is
It is about
a series made by Derek Savage, who lives in Las Vegas, and he wanted to make anti-bullying movies for kids. And in
He did.
2021, he made one called Cool Cat Fights
This
Coronavirus.
doesn't sound like anti-bullying to have a slave.
Oh,
Not-
yeah. Well, he is the bully, so he
This
has
is
a
the
slave.
villain.
This is the villain.
The villain.
Oh!
We're on the villains episode.
We're on the villains
Cool
episode,
Cat
Riley.
doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't like
Okay,
slavery. I don't know his
alright.
view on it. But Dirty Dog, like Derek thought it'd be cool to have the villain have a slave.
Okay.
That is just fact.
All right. Now that I see that he's the villain, it makes which
So,
would make sense.
which is not true about the villain. That he has a posse of bullies called the Rough Pups. He doesn't believe in coronavirus but wants to pollute kids with it. Or his mom is called Witch Dog and makes magic sauce.
Brian.
A is correct.
No.
Those were all believable.
That's the idea, folks. Fun fact, Dirty Dog was created by Derek Savage to be the main villain in an even more controversial film that I will not say the title of on air.
Yeah.
It's quite graphic.
For children?
And
Yes.
Yes,
in
to
the-
be
in the-
played in schools.
Yes.
And
We
the
will tell you
reason
after the
why
episode is done.
He
but
made the villain a dog is because he didn't want to single out any minorities.
the
But
entire...
it's cat. Cool cat.
Uh-huh.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but that was his
But
excuse.
they weren't going to have, like, a person? Like, could you imagine?
Let's keep it a buck here real quick. Derek is not a good person.
No, he's not.
You don't follow him on Twitter. He's
Point of
a
information.
nightmare. But it's quite ironic to see this children's author have the worst ideas and takes on things and want to educate children.
Yes.
Yep.
So really, the main villain of our story tonight is Derek Savage.
True. The
Well,
worst one. Second, second only is Tom Nook.
Actually, the biggest supervillain of all time
Yes.
would be Ruby from Max and Ruby.
Oh, I've been seeing those TikToks. Did you see the one about the cake where Max wanted to make a cake?
Yeah, and she's
Yes,
like, your
and she-
cake is terrible. Grandma will hate you.
And then sent him to the store by himself, and he's like a child. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk after the show.
Actually, Chloe, I have a problem with you considering Tom Nook a villain, but I'll save it for later.
Oh.
I'm scared now.
Brian's going to take you to school. Anyway, here are the standings. In absolute last place with a silly point is Alex Erwin.
That was very
And
good.
a close
Alex.
second with 1 point off are the managers. They did very good, but not extremely good. And in first
Not very
place,
good.
Team Archives with 5 points and a Kilimanjaro point. Congratulations.
Wow, that was really impressive.
I have a question.
Archive
Sure.
team, yes.
Brian, is this your second win?
Oh, it's more than just second.
Really?
He's won quite a few.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna do a superstar show?
We
You might have
should.
to.
We were thinking about it. Our last. Do we want to leak our last trivia?
Our last
topic?
trivia theme is Mr. Bean as of right now.
Yes.
Oh my God, I
But
think I'm on
I'm
that.
thinking of I don't even know 12 things about Mr. Bean, and I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to find.
I wouldn't
him.
mind a superstar showdown. It just means we'd have to do some work.
Yes, some
Yeah.
work. But Brian, once again, another victory. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty great about myself.
I'm very happy you are. And Allie, your first time on trivia with a victory. How are you feeling?
Very good.
Hey, man, this is incredible.
That
Another
was
victory.
Great. Everybody did great.
Another victory here for the archives. Another loss for eBoard. Which is the real.
I would like it known that I've lost 3 times, so I should be on the super losers team.
We can do super losers one time. We'll do that.
Super winners versus super losers.
At this rate, the next episode of High Noon is literally just going to be an hour of trivia.
Okay.
Wow.
It's happened before, but that was because there was no other content to be made during a pandemic. So
And now we have just the facts.
That's true.
anyway,
5 minutes for just the facts, 55 minutes for trivia.
transition.
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 Okay, I guess it's time to give it back to our hosts, I suppose. Go ahead, Jackson.
Surprise. Oh. Hello? Okay. Surprise. We're actually the hosts and the trivia people. So that wraps it up for this week's broadcast of High Noon Friday. Thank you for joining us, and make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, but also keep listening for the rest of Radiothon. High Noon Friday has been brought to you on WCBF 88.9 The Voice and WDVL 89.5 The Inferno on the web.
High Noon Friday is assembled through collaboration with students from Fredonia Radio Systems. Our producers and scriptwriters are Jackson DiCarlo, Alex Erwin, Chloe Kowalyk, and Hunter Halterman. Board operation is performed by Jackson DiCarlo and Hunter Halterman. News is presented in red by Cascio Fonseca and Josh Ribakove, and weather is prepared in red by Hunter Halterman. Tune in next week for another great edition of High Noon Friday. I'm Alex Erwin.
And I'm Chloe Kowalyk. Thanks for listening, and make sure to tune in next week, same time, same place, and keep listening to Radiothon.
Radiothon!
Radiothon! Have a great week, Fredonia!